I put over 1/2 a year into something which really was hard for me, and I didn't think I could do it, or kept struggling. So if you have something in your life right now where you are at the same place as I was, this video is for you. Let me tell you something about myself. I had many in my life, and it started in early childhood. It was survival and not thrive mode, which brought me in my 30s doing thriving. What I should have done in my 20s. Getting a base, a job that pays the bills, and driver's license. Both projects for the year 2024, while I'm still 34, turning 35 in autumn. Do I feel like I am left behind? Like I haven't made it? Like I'm lost in my 30s? So what do you think 2023 and 2022 was like for me? Well, after I spent like 2 years crying over how I suck, I eventually got tired of myself, being depressed, and started working on getting a base. No relationship, nothing, just me, and only me, finally getting somewhere. So I registered for theoretical driver's exam and starting doing the mandatory 14 hours, first help course, hand over the documents to the officials, started learning for the exam on the theoretical exam simulations. Sorry, I don't know the English word of this. Let's just say the German driver's license experience is like nothing else. I failed. Like, I got 40% and I needed at least 80%, and I kept learning. I even read the book, like I got the book and thought like, okay, if I read it, I might get it more in my head or something. Like, it's not like I was stupid. I've done things which were way more complicated, but this really was my Achilles heel, and it didn't really help. So I watched a YouTube video, and while the video helped actually more than the book, I still kept failing the simulation, which is, by the way, when I did that video. And also my driver's license. But for me, like, I knew this wasn't an option. Like, giving up wasn't an option. So I looked into it, and I noticed that the videos helped more than the books, even though I am an avid reader person. But the videos helped me understanding the material. And it was probably also the teacher who explained the meaning behind every question and what thought this question was being asked. And so after checking his video and it helped, I bought this YouTube course of him, 120 euros, and at this place I have spent over 200 euros just for learning. But the video course was the first thing that even got me close to 60. So I committed myself more and learned more. Every day, 1 to 2 hours, and I came actually close to 80. And around this time, the plan was to go on 2nd January 2024 to fully register and get my appointments. And funny thing, after Christmas, I fasted 3 days. I usually do this once a year. And I had this gut feeling that I should register now. Usually the plan was to register on the 2nd. I got this feeling like, let's do it on the 27th of December, not on the 2nd of January. So I went there, and there was a sign saying the prices are gonna be up after the 1st of January. So my gut actually saved me money. So I fully registered on the 27th, got the date, 10th of January, 7:30 a.m. The thing is with me, I have a really deep sleep. Like, noises don't work at me. It's touch or vibrations that put me out of sleep, or myself. But noises, people have been screaming in my ear and I still continued sleeping, so yeah. So I trained myself. I went to bed every day at 7 p.m. And I got up at 4 p.m. to prepare myself for getting up early because I had to leave the house at 6 to be there at 7:30. And because German public transportation is probably a whole video course of its own, the thing with them is they are surprised every year that Germany has winter. And they are so surprised that they are canceling the whole train thing. Like, it's wild. Public German transportation is just wild. And if anyone thinks Germany is a good country or like a country that works, the German public transportation is the perfect example of how Germany works. And also how our government works, but I'm not gonna dive into that. So obviously I ditched the German public transport and walked there by myself. So I had 2 weeks. I learned 2 to 3 hours every day after I got up. Did the exam simulations 6 times a day. Was very careful, eating the right thing and sleeping enough. I felt like a character in Love, Hina, and it's an old manga I read. And on the 9th, I was so nervous. I got only 6 hours of sleep, not enough, but I got up at 4. I had prepped breakfast, so I could have something to eat, get my system going on, watch a driver's license while I'm eating, and did some simulations to get me into it, the vibe. And at 6 o'clock, I left the house as planned, and it was freezing cold. And I walked 1 hour to TÜV, despite Google saying it's only 44 minutes. I just knew it. And arriving there, everyone was on their phones during the simulations. I knew I had to keep a clear focus. So I closed my eyes and shut off my phone completely and kept my eyes shut for 10 minutes. Then they brought us in, checked us for any electronics I would be wearing. I even had to put this one ahead. It was like security checks on airports. And then we each got assigned a PC. And we had like 30 questions. We could only click the answers with the mouse. Each question had different error points. If you had 2 5 error points questions wrong, you failed. If you have over 10 error points, you failed. And I had 0 error points. I passed. Fuck my life. I've passed with 100%. Like I did no mistake. I can't believe it. I fucking passed. And if you wonder, it's like
minus 6 degrees Celsius, and it's 7:30 in the morning. So yeah, this I was here, and I'm now going to my home and carry on with my life and be like happy I got my life back. I just
So from that point on, I knew it was done. Like, all the events coming up are like my best events. I already had passed driving each discipline, so this thing is mine. Don't driver's license is only a matter of a few months and money, to be honest. And to be honest with you, when I made a video back then, I had zero hopes if I could ever make it. Like, I was turning 23, YouTube channel not going well, divorce coming up, and people who had like zero brain cells left passed it with ease. So of course I wasn't in a good place. But as soon as I focused on how I can win this, everything started to shift. It didn't get easier, but by putting my energy there, I got to this place where I think you truly can become anything you want if you put in yourself and time.
Now that you've made it, what would you do if Germany changed its law and you would have to repeat the exam every couple of 10 years or so?
Yeah, I would definitely renounce my citizenship.
What?
Yeah, you know, I've already gave it enough time, so I'm not getting back the time. I won't put anything back.
So you take the lesson?
Yeah, take the lesson and just be happy that it's over.
And there's no one who wants this thing over more than I do. I'd like my life back.